Hi everyone, it's Linda McKenna from Golden Rule Senior Placement Services coming to you today with Tuesday Talks. And our topic for today, as we've been discussing this whole month of March, is today we're celebrating happy first day of spring. And we're going to be talking about some activities for our senior loved ones. And the topic is spring into action with 11 fun, free or low-cost activities for seniors to get outdoors. As we had described in the past weeks, we were talking about a lot of outdoor activities with the better weather coming upon us. And but more importantly is the activities, is getting them stimulated, getting them active, moving about, and not sitting in the house all day or in their apartment all day at senior living and just watching TV. So actually getting outdoors is good for you for vitamin D, but more importantly is the activities of sharing with others and moving those joints as well. So a lot of these topics are free or low cost, and it's some creative ways of doing spring activities with our senior loved ones. But the most important focus is that we're getting outdoors. So the first one is we have to take into consideration that not everybody has mobility. Some have mobility issues or get tired when ambulating too much. So some might be restrictive into wheelchairs, or they have to use another assisted device, maybe a walker. So having accessible wheelchair access or pathways is going to be important for them to ambulate, but a safe ambulation too if they're using a walker. So the first one is wheelchair accessible trails. Now there's a lot of nature trails that a lot of people go on with their bikes and all, but there is certainly ones that you can enjoy by wheelchair and walking on a flat surface, so there's a level ground to utilize it. But it's being outdoors and actually enjoying the trails of the foliage and such. And more importantly is that there is resting spots too. So take that into consideration, especially if they're walking and their walker doesn't have a seat. You want to make sure that there is some spots that they can rest a little bit and recharge themselves. But what a great way. In our little area, we actually have a botanical gardens, and a lot of seniors go there with their loved ones. And it's wonderful because during this time of the year, especially spring, everything is very vibrant and colorful, and there's a lot to look at. It's very serene and calming, and it's wheelchair access. It's great for ambulation on flat surface, and there's many resting spots. So nothing best to get back in touch with nature. Number 2 goes along the lines of being outside and doing things that are safe with your senior loved one. Is cloud watching. I thought that was really clever. The person that I grab a lot of these information from and a lot of articles. Cloud watching is something, especially if there is a forecast that it's sunny and partly cloudy. And cloud watching is, describing the shapes that are up in the sky. So again, you're out, you're sitting, relaxing, maybe by a park bench, and looking at the clouds and looking at the shapes of them and what they look like to you. Again, it reduces anxiety, it's stress. There's a lot of conversation that you can have with one another. Why not even make a picnic and having a picnic at the park and doing some cloud watching. 3, in the evening time and at night is doing stargazing. Another great thing, it doesn't really have to be out and about. If still living at home in your driveway or on your lanai or patio and looking at the stars. And I know from my dad's perspective, he used to use a microscope and actually look for the Milky Way and the North Star and all, and be very, very in tuned to what's going on up there in our space. But him being a navigator on a ship during the Navy, that was important to him, is the stars. So stargazing might be really, really good for your naval gentlemen out there and ladies, and also just looking at it on a really clear night And again, enjoying, maybe have a cup of cocoa with it, a cup of tea, and it's great for great conversations as well too. Free. It's there. Walking games. I thought this is pretty, things that are clever with children, but it's also clever to do it with seniors. I know when we are with our granddaughter, we always says, "I spy something." So while you're walking, I spy a tulip, and you need to go find where the tulip is and point to it. Or I spy something pink. Is it a pink rose? Those are great little good ideas to do with nature as well too. But during walking games also, you could do rhymes, you could do songs while walking, but most importantly is being outside and maybe exploring the neighborhood as well too, and maybe having a conversation about the neighborhood. The next door neighbors and who they're related to, where they're from, and having those conversations as well too. And if you're living in a senior living community, a lot of our seniors walk outside. They actually have a club that they have a walking group that they do together. And it's the perimeters of the community. And there is, of course, safe walking paths as well too, and many resting spots. Bird feeder watching. I love this. Bird feeders are wonderful. It gives that senior something to do as well too. Actually feed the food in the bird feeder and see what beautiful birds that come and dine on what you left them. And I know a senior living community that I work with a lot. They actually have a courtyard, and in that courtyard is a lot of greenery, but they have bird feeders at each of the windows. So a lot of the seniors, so even while they might be still inside, they are looking at the bird feeders and seeing the birds visiting. But make it fun. You can actually buy a special bird feeder. There's a lot of ones that now have a lot of technology with it, that they actually alert you on your phone to say that there's a bird there at the bird feeder dining and eating. But also that there is some creative bird-shaped houses as well too. So something that they will enjoy. 6, go into the farmer's market. Now, the farmer's market is beneficial for a lot of reasons. You're supporting what's in your community. A lot of the farmers that are in your community, may it be a lot of the produce and fruits that they are selling in their wares on the weekend. But what a great thing to walk around, to enjoy, support local business, and at the same time, getting nutritious food. So great little thing to do on the weekends. A lot of farmers markets are usually in some downtown little areas that they close off the street, so it is safe to ambulate, and also by a wheelchair is accessible. But great things like seasonal fruits and a lot of the produce like local cucumbers and salads and all, lettuce and all. So that's great to do. Farmers market not only is fruits and vegetables, but there's a lot of crafts also too. So what a great thing to do doing it outside. A lot of other people are there as well too that you could socialize, and you can make a day of it. 7, we talked about gardening many times in the last couple of videos. Be creative with this as well too. Maybe start with little pots of plants that they can easily water. But maybe if you want to get it a little bit larger, there's ways of building a tabletop nursery. A couple of senior living communities that we work together with actually have this out in the courtyard or on the patio area in their tabletop gardens. So they're very responsible for taking care of what they have planted, watering them, cutting them back, and all turning over the soil. And it's easy, so they're not bending down to the earth doing anything. But the most precious part of it all is seeing everything bloom and grow, something that they could really, really enjoy. Now, gardening does not have to only be at home. Like I said, it's in senior living, but maybe gathering a couple of people together, if your loved one's still at home, and doing it together is a nice little event. And maybe have a little garden tea party with it as well too. Number 8 is picnicking. As I referenced to in the previous thoughts, picnicking, you could do that every day, anywhere. Anywhere. It doesn't have to be at a park. It could, even if you're still in the car, you could do that. But it's being outside and stopping, and the thrill of it is actually planning it, and picking out your lunches and making it together. And if it's something that maybe you don't want to bring anything from home, maybe stop at a local restaurant to do takeout and then go to the park and enjoy it. Realize the park doesn't have to be a picnic, that it has to be on the ground. There's a lot of picnic benches that are comfortable for loved ones, but what a wonderful thing to do. And my favorite picnics, when I had my children and even with my elder parents, is doing a sunset in the evening time and having your meal maybe at the beach or at a park that you could see the sunset with no obstructive views, and really getting to enjoy each other's company and having it over a meal at the same time. Number 9, volunteering outdoors. Nothing better than volunteering and giving yourself to others that are in need. But if it's outdoors, how wonderful. Maybe being involved with the school system and volunteering for just to watch on the playground, watching some of the children, for your senior loved one to do that. But there's a lot of outdoor activities that are sporting events is great. The baseball field, the soccer field, and maybe your senior loved one could be the ticket person. Get to enjoy the game at the same time and collect, the ticket stubs, do drawings, or even as far as the concession stand. So volunteering is wonderful, and doing it outdoors is even better. Even the ASPCA, or a lot of the Humane Society, has a lot of outdoors for our lovely captured stray animals, and maybe having them do feedings or actually taking them for a walk would be something that is enjoyable. It's giving back, and it really makes your senior loved one feel purposeful. Number 10, photography. Capturing pictures today is wonderful, and it's easy. It's not only that you have to have a camera with film or digital. We can use our phones. And what a great thing is to actually be present in the photography and in the pictures with it, and taking such beautiful landscapes, the beautiful flowers in the gardens when you do a walk, and then, downloading it later and maybe printing them up and giving them framed as gifts to the family. So photography is wonderful. It's not that much of a cost to print up pictures today, and really something that they could get one with nature, but now it's also a keepsake. Agritourism. Agritourism is great to go visit the local farms. We have a lot of local farms in our particular area, and on the weekends, it is open to the public. That not only can they purchase a lot of the produce and the fruits, but they also have petting zoos. They also have the goats and the chickens and the horses and the cows there, that you can make an event with it with your senior loved one and maybe grandchildren. What a lovely afternoon to enjoy together, going out to the local farm. You're supporting it as well too, but more importantly, you're out, you're walking and getting some exercise, and maybe you could pack a meal and actually enjoy having a meal there as well too, if they don't serve. So these are very economical things to do, and the most important catch from all this is getting out and doing and planning. So here's 11 things that could be 11 days out of the month. we're at the 19th of the month, and we have more than 11 days left. If we use each one of these days from here on out, these items, we're really filling the month's activities each day. So be creative. There is a lot of low cost things to do and a lot of fun things to do. The most important is getting out and doing it together and enjoying the spring weather as well too. Well, thank you so much for viewing Tuesday Talks with Linda McKenna of Golden Rule Senior Placement Services. As always, I lead you to my website. It is www.goldenruleseniorplacement.com, and there you will actually find not only my bio, testimonials, various options, but a lot of resources and these video talks as well. It's my contact information there if you would like to write to me and suggest some future video topics as well. Next week, we are actually going to be talking about National Doctors Day. Next week is the 26th of March. Doctors Day falls on March 30th, so I have a couple of topics to discuss with you so we could celebrate with our physicians as well. Thank you so much and have a wonderful and blessed week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye now.